A potential customer comes to you, maybe they say, we need this to be connected, and this is our budget, our revenue expectation. So do you have a process or sort of a set of primary questions or ways that you work through toward figuring out how to get from their idea to the implementation?
We have IoT specialists as part of our sales teams who engage with customers on a daily basis. Many of them are vertical specialists, so some of them, for example, let's say they come from the fleet industry, or some of them come from heavy equipment industry, or from smart grid industry. So they understand the economics and the realities behind each of those industries. And many times the expectations are out of line of where the economics or the capabilities are. So for example, if somebody comes in and says, I need a round trip time of sub-millisecond so that I can control an asset in real time, well, that's not realistic, because that's not how the networks are engineered, whether it's a Wi-Fi network or you need a very controlled environment like you would see on a shop floor, for example, or a machine manufacturing floor, where you have very fast control systems in place, SCADA systems and things like that. And many times we have those conversations with the customers. So I think at the front line, at the solutioning stage, we go through the economics, we go through the high-level ROI models, we go through the functionality, what's possible and what's not possible. So for example, we're going through a customer deployment right now where we are retrofitting propane tanks with inventory level sensors. So how much propane do you have left? Because if you're getting to a certain low level, they would reroute a truck, which is in the area, delivering propane somewhere else, to come to you and fill up your tank so that you don't have an outage. And these are propane tanks that are at manufacturing plants and things like that. So now that device needs to be intrinsically safe, because you're in a very combustible environment, all right? So we have to have those kind of discussions to say how intrinsically safe. Is it a class 1, div 2, whatever, safe, and does that fit into your environment? So there's device conversations, there's connectivity conversations, and there's economic conversations. There's no one set of questions I can ask that will satisfy every customer. Each use case in each industry is unique. I mean, you could have some industry-specific things, but then you really need to engage with the customer on how they're going to use it and what their expectations are.
You also touched in the session on the role that real-time data processing is playing. And I'm curious to know where in that discussion does that come up? Perhaps referring to the exponential growth in data itself, it's becoming more and more of an issue up front, I would imagine, in these discussions with your customers. Or is it something that you really find you discuss after the implementation occurs?
No, I think it happens a lot during or at the time of implementation. The real value, I think, in IoT, I shouldn't say the real value, the most value will come out in real-time decisions, in real-time analytics. A couple of examples. So think about a jet engine, right? Or any machine. Take a tractor. I can send a tech every month to go health inspect the machine, whether it's a MRI machine in a hospital, or a tractor, or a jet engine, and they plug in something, they retrieve the data, they run something on their laptops, and it says, oh, everything is fine. Like if you take a car and the mechanic runs some diagnostics, oh yeah, the computer tells me everything's fine. But what if I could get that check engine light back to you in real time, right? I don't even have to dispatch something. And the next layer of it is I can even download a software patch, because most of the time it's a software issue, and fix that problem. Car companies are starting to do that. And I think that's where the real value comes in. And even if it's not a software issue, I know something is about to break. Maybe it's a safety hazard. I'll shut off everything. If I'm on an oil rig, say shut it down, because safety is a big concern. And until somebody comes and takes a look at it, nothing is going to happen. So you save lives. Or you have now reduced the downtime, because I can manage the downtime much better. I can predict, based on that real-time analysis, that something's about to break. If you look at the vibrations of any moving part, you could ascertain, if you and I just looked at the wave file of the vibrations, we could pretty much tell something is wrong or something's about to break. So when the algorithms look at it, they say, oh, it's about to break. Let me go get this part replaced. Maybe we need to get the fan replaced or something before it breaks down. And that has implications on the business, because now, instead of charging you for the asset, I can charge you for the hours of usage.
Well, thank you very much for your time today, and it was a great presentation or panel discussion you were on earlier, and we look forward to talking again soon.
Thank you, Jared.